Hey everyone, welcome to The Path of Me. I'm your host, Wendy Hutchinson. I have a beautiful guest today, John Tran. Welcome, John.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, John's a visionary, a creator, a yogi, and he's got this passion project he's working on right now that we're going to talk about called, what's the name of it?
It's YOUniverSOULfest.
YOUniverSOULfest. And it's going to be a huge community gathering here in Houston, Texas, in Midtown.
2 blocks away.
I know, it's so close to me, so close to my place. So we wanted to deep dive first, though, into a little bit about your journey. You know, you had such an interesting background because your parents, from an early age, were seekers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you said from the age of like 8, they were kind of seeking spiritual teachers and energy work, and you were introduced to this world that most kids, you know, aren't at that age. What was that like for you?
So my dad was having huge kidney problems when I was 7 years old, and he tried to go to different doctors, like Western medicine, and that wasn't working out. So he talked to friends, and they recommended him to go to different healers. And at the time, I had no idea what
that meant.
Yeah, what's a healer?
Right.
And it was a lot of different places that we would drive to. Sometimes Louisiana, Florida.
Are you from Texas?
We're from Houston.
Okay.
And
at the time, that wasn't real common. I mean, we're talking a long time ago,
yeah,
actually.
It was really weird,
over 30 years ago.
It was a long time, yeah.
Well, that was pretty progressive on this part, seeking alternative therapies.
But in a weird way, when I was a kid and this was happening, it didn't seem that weird.
It felt normal, maybe.
I don't know, because we used to watch these kung fu movies, and they always did things with their hands.
Right, they're moving energy. Yeah.
Like Mr. Miyagi did it.
Right.
That's Reiki.
Sure.
So it wasn't like a foreign thing, but it was definitely not something that other kids in school were talking about
or experiencing.
You don't watch it, you don't see it often.
Right.
So we just knew that maybe, in my head, I thought maybe this is just a normal thing in Asian culture that they do.
True.
For treatments and therapy and healing. So
did it help you?
It did. But he did end up having to get a kidney transplant. So we went to the hospital and did that.
Oh, wow.
But for a while, the energy work did help.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was just, he didn't stay on the path of using the alternative medicine. But,
well, I guess maybe he fell away from it once he got the new kidney, and he's like, you know, he didn't feel the need so much. But I'm glad that you continued the path.
Yeah.
You know.
Came full circle. That.
Life is such a journey, right? Yeah. It's like you go through I also noticed that we kind of go through things in cycles. You know, so maybe I'll experience something and respond to it in a certain way. So maybe 10 years ago, I'd go through something and respond to it in a lower vibrational way. Right? And then as you evolve and you go higher, you find you're able to really respond from a more elevated place with mindfulness and see the bigger picture. So you kind of become the center of the storm, the eye of the storm, I would say, right? But it's interesting to observe as we cycle through these cycles of life, and as we're evolving on a soul level, how different we can show up for ourselves and others as we go through these challenging experiences. Because life isn't like a joyride, totally. I mean, it's beautiful, but you do go through ups and downs. You know, it's not right. It's not rainbows and unicorns all the time. So learning to deal with that is challenging.
Learn to be grateful for those ebbs.
Yeah. Well, we have the biggest growth there, right? Without the challenge. I always, you know, I used to be so envious of people who were living a seemingly easy life, you know. And now that I've gone through so much inner growth myself. I realized, I think I don't think I've changed a thing because we've become exactly who I'm meant to be through these challenges. I don't think I'd want a totally quote unquote easy life.
Push life.
Yeah. Although when you're suffering and observing someone else doing well, it's kind of like seriously right now. What? But anyway, let's kind of go back. So you in 2008, tell me about what was going on in your life. That was a big year for you.
Divorce.
Yeah, that's a huge shift.
Yeah, I
happening.
was in a relationship. We were married, and then we just decided we both, she was an amazing person, and just our paths were different. So we divorced, and
it's a major life change.
Yeah, and I don't know that I've ever experienced that depression or stress or anything, but I think I never did because I would mask it with going out, getting wasted.
Of course, partying is a major go-to because it's fun, and you don't even realize maybe that you're starting to slide a little bit when you're in that mindset.
Yeah, I was in party mode, and a friend of mine, my roommate at the time, he said, "Dude, you're
going hard.
You're going hard. Like you need some yoga in your life." And I was gonna try it.
I'm really impressed that you were open to it, not really having done it, right?
Never.
You've never done yoga before? Wow.
So I went, and
was it, what kind of yoga was it? Hot yoga? Was it yin?
Literally right down the street.
Flow practice.
All hot classes at Yoga One.
Okay.
And I hated it the first 2 or 3 times.
He kept going back.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
There's something about it. Like I think I hated the 50 minutes in between.
But Savasana was like amazing.
Savasana was like, just
you survived it.
Those 5 minutes make it worth it. I'm coming back tomorrow. But
wow.
I hate everything about the other part. I'm all sweaty and I have to wash my clothes.
Right.
So I kept going back, and then I hurt my knee.
Okay.
And I stopped doing it after that for a few years, maybe 5, 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a long break of.
Wow. And what were you doing in that period of time? Finding yourself.
Yeah,
basically
through partying again.
You kind of went back. Yeah, you felt that. It's kind of I think life is like that, right? It's like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of thing, right? And but I always believe we're exactly where we need to be.
I had a taste of like the yoga life for a few weeks.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool, and then the universe is like, nope, you need to
go back to sleep for a little bit.
Go to sleep or get to a place where you actually feel the suffering a little more, and then you want to reach for like the life even harder. That's what I think is happening.
Yeah. So I know you. Did you go to Burning Man often, or was it
3 years ago?
3 times.
Yeah, so 2014 was my first year.
I heard it's quite an experience.
It's.
I have not been there.
Like the
myself.
most.
Like an alternative reality almost.
Yeah, it's the most unexplainable 10 days of your life. But pretty much, I consider it like a buffet of every single thing that you've ever manifest, wish for.
Sounds dangerous.
It is.
if you're not centered and grounded, it could be really dangerous place to be.
It's so many. You can.
But fun. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a lot that you get going.
Yeah, the far range of fun and the far range of
tragedy,
light, enlightenment, and then there's this whole range of
experience.
Yeah. So there's everything.
Right. Yeah. So what was the biggest takeaway that you had from that Burning Man? Those Burning Man experiences.
That Burning Man.
What was it? The last one that was the most powerful.
The first one.
The first one.
I partied, but just went out and drank. Back in Houston, but the Burning Man was just this buffet of unlimited.
Anything you want, right? Drugs, alcohol.
Out dancing for
crazy.
Maybe 2 or 3 days straight, and at the end of this dancing week at Burning Man, I was just on my knees. And
wow! And this is the first time.
The first time I went, because I didn't know how to handle myself there,
right?
And I said, yeah, my goal, this is like the last day, because if I keep,
you might die if you keep going at this pace.
I'll die if I go at this pace. So as soon as I got home,
You're going hard.
yeah, I just posted like, hey, I met a healer with Burning Man, and he told me, he's like, there's no mistake that you met over here. It's like, try yoga, and you'll find yourself. I said, I've tried yoga before, but I really like came back to Houston with the intention to like really try yoga, to really. I thought I went to Burning Man to find myself, like my soul. But really, like my soul is here, and I can do that anywhere. I don't have to be in the desert to do that.
Exactly.
So I think what the message in the takeaway was to dive deeper into myself through yoga and the consciousness.
Yoga is such a great tool for that. Mind, body, and soul. It's just like it addresses every aspect of your being, which is what I like about it. But you went back 2 more times. Was it different because you kind of got into a different mind space?
Each time was different. So each time coming back, I balanced it out a little bit more of like, how are you for like 2 days? Yoga, there's a little party. And then
it was a little more balanced.
Yeah, a little more balanced. And then after the 3rd year, I felt complete with Burning Man.
Wow.
I got what I needed on the conscious level. I danced enough to last me for another decade, probably.
Right.
I was full.
Yeah. You were complete.
I was
complete.
You
were complete. That's awesome. And when did you decide to take yoga to the next level and do the teacher training? What was the impetus?
So, I think after the first year of Burning Man, and I came back home, dove into yoga. There was one of the teachers said, "Hey, we're doing an open house for yoga teacher training. It's just an info session if you want. If you're curious." I was like, I don't think I'll ever be a yoga teacher, but I'll just go sit in this like 2-minute meeting. And at the time they were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, probably not for me. But there's something that like pushed me to go to that meeting. And in that moment, like 2014 wasn't my time at all, but there was this curiosity of like,
there was a little seed planted.
Yeah, there's a seed planted of like I know yoga's helping my life as a student. I wonder if taking a 200-hour training will like deepen my connection to myself. So that was always there. Like, can I be a better human by doing this thing? There's always this question in my head, and I just being around my friends like Robin and my friend Candace, who brought me into yoga the second time around. I just knew that I noticed a big shift like in Candace's life after she became a yoga teacher, and other people with that.
Well, you do so much inner work through the process. It's almost like an accelerated course in self-discovery.
I feel like it's like college for self-discovery or something. Getting your master's.
And you're making a commitment too. When it's like a 200-hour, 300-hour course, you're committing to that, but you're also committing to yourself. You're going to really go deep.
Totally, yeah.
It's like great therapy without therapy. Yeah. It's kind of like therapy, but
it's totally like therapy.
Right? You have to like be raw and exposed and actually go deep. Right?
Yeah, we did that.
It's powerful.
Probably.
I was gonna say there's probably a lot of tears, a lot of shedding.
We call it eye sweats in yoga teacher training. Okay. It's like, excuse me, my eyes are so
anybody's got a tissue. Everyone's looking for that towel.
There's tissue everywhere.
Oh yeah, they know.
In teacher training,
they have some experience with it, right? Well, that's so beautiful that you are you still teaching right now? Or? Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations, it's amazing. What prompted you to? What prompts you to keep exploring? Going further out. I mean, it sounds like you have an inner compass that's kind of guiding you. But what was it that kind of got you to think, maybe I want to do some traveling, or maybe I want to spend some time alone and figure things out. Did you have a pivotal moment, or was it kind of just a knowing that was trying to do something different?
Well, for a while, I was partying with my friends, and we always fly to different, like just dance like EDM festivals around the world.
Wow.
Just party.
That's
And
crazy and cool.
it's cool and crazy and fun. And I would come home feeling empty. And then
so you're having this amazing experience, but you're like, but I still feel the same on the inside.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can put that in the books. But.
Yeah, it's a cool Instagram picture. But other than that, do I feel fulfilled? Not really. And a friend of mine.
That's a huge realization.
Yeah, a friend of mine invited me to, he said, I'm living in Bali. There's a festival. You want to come?
He was living in Bali. That's so cool.
And yeah, he's living in Bali. He lives in this like, cool little house that's shaped like shaped like the moon. It's a big circle sphere.
That seems symbolic too.
It's crazy.
That you first of all get invited, have a friend there, and then be able to actually stay in then a home that's
I didn't stay there. He lived there. Okay. He lived there. He invited me to just come to the festival. He said, I won't be like there to guide you anywhere. I just want you to come. I might see you at dinner.
Experience it.
Be on your own. I might dip in and see you one day, but I'm doing my own thing. And I was like, it's perfect.
Tell me about this experience. What's it like when you go there? How long is it, first of all?
First Spirit Fest was 7 days.
Okay. Did you participate for the full week?
I got there on Wednesday.
Okay. So
pretty much Wednesday through Sunday.
And how does it work? Is it like you go to one place and there's all these different things happening, or is it all throughout the city? What's it like?
They rented out 2 big places. One was a resort,
okay.
And then the other place was kind of a concert hall or like an old temple where they did a concert. Cool. So this beautiful, like 2 beautiful locations, like one area of like the rice fields.
Wow.
And this is where the yoga and all the good stuff was. And then at night they had the concert. And everything was like very high vibration.
I love it. Yeah, that's cool. What did you learn about yourself while you were there?
Traveling on my own, I just learned to actually tap into my inner compass. And oftentimes when we travel with other people, it's like, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to live? Well, this sounds fun. You want to try this? And
it's more of a collaboration.
They had this time like have the buffet of that festival, and it was like, do you want to go to like an EFT course, or do you want to take yoga and breath work? Do you want to do bars? All these different options, ecstatic dance, meditation workshop, acro yoga, whatever. There's like all these things, and
I wouldn't know what to choose first. It sounds like there's just so much that you'd want to do.
You stumble in, and everything's like, I feel like is divinely guided. That like you can't go into the wrong place.
Right. Yeah. Isn't that true about life?
Totally true. Yeah.
It's a metaphor for life, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what was it like? Did you feel different when you went through it, or did it take a little time when you came back to kind of process everything that you had integrated?
Instantly when I got to Bali, I felt there's like this vortex magic about Bali. I've always been drawn to like different deities, and as soon as you get out of the airport, there's like these huge like statues of Shiva and Hanuman, and just everywhere you go, they have those flowers hanging and these little offerings that every house leaves outside for the gods.
So it's a very spiritual place.
Very spiritual. And I was on a spiritual journey, and like I landed into like spiritual like
nirvana right there.
Yeah, like a portal into my own spirit. And it was just a magical feeling.
That's really awesome. You were able to experience that. And obviously it was delivered right on time.
Yeah, I needed it at that time.
Did you feel reset after you had that? It seems like through your journey, every time you're experiencing something profound, you're coming into more and more alignment with your soul. Right? You're getting a little bit closer, you're dialing it in a little bit closer. Did you feel that after doing all of that?
I felt like I was up in and then upward, like elevated.
So you went in and then you had the connection through your higher self to source, through that experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have a profound moment in Bali, or?
I did. The biggest one was the last day, which was Sunday. I went to a cannabis workshop, followed by bars, and then my partner, like, I met in the bars and I said, "You want to try breath work? It's the last class of the day." For sure.
Had you done breath work before?
I'd done just like around breathing. Like this was a 75-minute or a 90-minute breath work session.
This is guided breath work.
Guided breath work, and
sounds powerful.
It was powerful. There was only 300 people in this huge, beautiful like thing, and we were all doing breath work together. And
are you on a yoga mat? Like, I'm trying to picture what this looks like. Are you all just sitting up on a yoga mat or laying down?
We're
in savasana pose? It's like whatever you feel like.
No, she'll tell you, bend your knees like in bridge pose, and then breathe through your mouth, like hot breath like 10 times, and then hold it, and then she'll say.
So it's a very specific,
very rhythmic sequence, very like set sequence, and I just remember crying 3 times in that.
It was just like a huge release. Yeah. Something was being pulled out.
We did like some tantric partner work, or just like eye gazing, and I cried for that one, and then.
Do you feel like you were seeing yourself? And the other? Where was that?
So my partner was like an older woman. I think she was like in her 60s, and the teacher said, "Get with one partner and just look at her." And then she said, "I'm sorry." And I said, "Well, why are you sorry?" And she said, "I'm sorry. You probably want to be with like a younger goddess, and you're stuck with me."
What?
And then she started crying.
Oh,
and then,
so things are being triggered as you're staring because you're both. Well, I feel like it's a reflection of it. Connecting energetically and maybe reflecting to each other.
There's kind of like compassion thing where I could, or empathy, where I felt what she was feeling, because like me, my old self belief was like, I'm not good enough to be your partner, for example.
So many people have that. Yeah. I'm not good enough worthiness piece. Almost every person I work with, there's an element. And sort of be able to recognize that in that sacred space is really beautiful.
When she shared that, it was like, oh my God, I feel that. Like I've been there.
Right. I'm scoot a little closer. I feel like you're way over on the screen.
So yeah, we just hugged each other, and then we continued more breath work. And I don't remember. Oh, I do remember. The last part that made me really cry was resetting the Ho'oponopono.
Yeah, I'm from Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
So the teacher had a ukulele, and she sung "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you." And then
everybody joined in.
Everyone joined in. It was 300 people putting hands. We all singing it.
Something beautiful about having a community join in and connect energetically, in a sacred space. That in itself is powerful, but then when you're doing something that's helping your soul growth in some way, it's even magnified. How beautiful you had that experience.
It was wow.
What was the feeling you had when that session was completed? You must have had a takeaway from something like that.
My biggest takeaway was the release I had is so big that I just wish that all my friends and family could experience that. And I just leaving that breakfast session, I sat into acid, took it all in.
What just happened?
What just happened? And I just said to myself, gosh, I wish every single human, like friends and families, everyone can experience
that feeling.
The release or the whatever it is, to clear and to like really feel that.
And that when was that?
2017.
It wasn't that long ago. 2016? 2016, right? So you brought that vision in your heart home, and what happened?
So my birthday came around, and
when is your birthday?
January 14th.
Okay, so it's perfect. It's like new beginnings, beginning of the year. That's so beautifully aligned, right?
So I just shared it out loud. Like, I want everyone, all my friends to experience like this consciousness movement, this festival. we're in me. So now I want to manifest like with you guys, like,
Creating something.
let's
Right?
create this experience right here, in the heart of our city. And
That's so cool.
and everyone was like, it's beautiful. It's what do we need to do to make it happen? So we just began to schedule meetings and group meetings.
Yeah. So how many of you started? What was the core group?
There's about 30 people.
Wow. So you had a lot of collaboration making this vision come true.
Yeah, and it keeps growing. And last year we had 54 people, teachers, artists, presenters, workshops. That was last year. This year,
Let's talk a little bit more about what your what your mission statement would be for this beautiful spiritual festival that you put on here in Houston. And then I'm going to ask you to share some details around it so people who are interested can participate or check it out.
Our biggest mission is really to connect people in the community, to lift the vibration of our city, of ourselves, the inner, lift that up.
Love that.
And just to dive deeper and just continue to practice it, mindfulness and consciousness. It's one thing that, our festival is a one-day experience, but our mission is to expose people to these tools, these workshops, these classes and lessons, so that every day when they get home with their kids, they can be in their life with their children, when they go to work and they have employees
that breath work is going to come into play. Maybe if they're feeling stressed or whatever. So share with me a little bit about the types of offerings that you have at this festival this year. I know you're in your third year, so congratulations. I'm sure it's growing every year.
It keeps growing every year.
Super cool.
It's amazing. There's everything. We have 5 different areas.
Okay.
So our main stage is mainly, I can go on forever. Like, how much time do we have?
We have time. We have time. First of all, where is it located? So if people want to come, I'm going to put this on the bottom of the screen so people can find it.
It's in Midtown Park, which is 2811 Travis Street in Houston, Texas.
I'm going to put that down below so everybody can check it out. And what date?
October 19th.
So is it always the same weekend, the third weekend of October? Okay, perfect. I'll put all that information so every year,
10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Cool.
And one of the cool things that we're doing, the first class is one of my favorite teachers, and he wrote a book called American Youth. His name is Marlon Hall. And he was a preacher, and he found yoga, and now he
kind of marries the two somehow.
But without being religious, his classes are so spiritual. Without any
found his lane.
Yeah, his
That's beautiful.
So he's opening the whole day with a really unique experience, not just the yoga class, but the way he weaves in the
principles, and
he's gonna have. If he's gonna do what I think he's gonna do, he says it's a surprise. But last time I went to one of his classes, actually played music for it, and so there's music in the middle of teaching. The video clip of like important part, some very part of his life. He standing on a rock and tell a story of how he got to this rock, and then he used that into the yoga.
It's amazing.
It's like this audio visual.
It's like a whole experience. It's not just a yoga class.
Yeah.
It's like a whole immersion.
It's an immersion experience. So that's one of the things we're doing this year.
Awesome. How did you meet him?
I met him through big power yoga.
Cool. And then I know you're having a red tent.
We're having a red tent.
Because I interviewed, check out my show with Bhavin Mishra and Lene Williams. They are big supporters and participants in creating these festivals that we had an interview, and they were talking about the red tent.
So they'll be in the red tent.
Share a little bit about what that is for people who aren't familiar.
So Bhavin, Lene, myself, and Candace who brought me into yoga, we all went to Vision Festival in Costa Rica. And it's a similar type festival. It's consciousness yoga. And the girls went to the red tent, the guys were doing all these other
cool things.
Yeah, the cool yoga classes.
Yeah, right.
And the girls came back and said, there's this thing for the red tent. It honors the divine feminine. It teaches women how to like honor a
Their
sacred
bodies,
body and
sacred space.
so that they can empower their men. And so guys were like, wow, we need to learn more. So we
Were you able to go into it?
Yeah.
It's not just a women-only type of experience?
so in Costa Rica, certain teachers were very particular at the red tent, like women only, and we were able to go into one. And it was mind-blowing.
What was your impression around it? Tell me a
Very,
little more
very empowering.
from a male perspective.
From a male perspective, I feel like every man needs to sit in on the red tent to understand just like what we have done as men in the past. It isn't working in the paradigm of honoring the divine feminine, and our divine masculine is to hold that space and to honor the divine feminine, and together we rise.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes men are taught like
To dominate.
and be like
Mm-hmm.
like our shadow side,
Mm-hmm.
and
A lot of that too is coming from a place of fear. It's a huge fear paradigm.
just,
You
I feel
know,
like it's
in the male
survival.
culture, right? It's like survival of the fittest, which is a fear-based program,
Yeah.
right? So I need to beat you before you beat me,
Mhm.
and I need to own you so you don't own me.
Mhm.
So how powerful that you had that experience right at this pivotal time, because the divine feminine is rising.
It's totally rising.
It's rising fast and hard, which I love, and it's beautiful to see women starting to come forward and with strength and grace and confidence and become more of an equalizer
Mhm.
with the male energy on the planet.
Mhm.
So how beautiful you're
So the
including
red
that.
tent is happening at our festival, and we decided to open all the sessions for men and to attend. 'Cause it's
Great
super important for men to
experience.
and understand
Mhm.
and support.
And is it a conversation? Is it, what kind of things are happening in this experience?
So there'll be workshops like there's so many.
Right.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, I mean, maybe a general idea of what kind of experience you're going to have in there.
Okay.
What are you going to?
One workshop would be like consent
Okay.
beyond sex. So like
Right.
there's also going to be a goddess poly workshop. There's going to be like a sacred circle with sound healing. I think last year we had one. It was like the tent was packed on the inside, and then people were
Spilling out.
20, 30 people still on the outside perimeter.
I hope you're creating a bigger space this year.
So this year
like, well, we need to up our capacity here.
Bigger tent.
Meet the fire marshals.
But that was a topic on sex.
Interesting.
And can't remember the exact title, but we're going to have similar topics this year, but with different twists.
What kind of shifts are you seeing? Every year you're probably getting a sense of, or a pulse of where the community is and what's resonating with people and what's not. What kind of shifts are you seeing as you're fine-tuning your festival every year?
So last year was the first year of the Red Tent, and we really honored the full-on divine feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we're honoring the divine balance of feminine and masculine in the divine way. How to honor both and how to allow both to rise.
How to support each other. From a space of love and community.
So that's one of the biggest shifts. I feel like more connection is happening this year. Certain workshops are really designed towards connection. Connection, like just eye gazing, just different workshops. I think the first year is just like, come do your yoga.
Right.
Just do this here.
Connect to yourself.
Connect yourself.
Take something away.
And now it's like,
you want to create
have that.
more of that community.
Mm-hmm. So that I think people have been programmed to, I go to work, I'm on my phone, I'm here, I'm there. This is the extent of where I'm going to connect.
Connecting with everything through a screen.
Yeah.
Which is an artificial barrier, like basically. And it's also an artificial world.
Yeah.
Right? So to have human connection is so important.
Yeah, touch, eye contact, actually speaking,
and energetic connection.
energetic. Yeah.
Right? It's being really present to whoever's in front of you or spending or sharing space. Right? I think that's so powerful. That's awesome. Well, I'm so excited that you're doing it in our city because I think we could use it. We have over 6 million people in the greater Houston area. I can just see this grow. I hope it never outgrows the Midtown space because it's so convenient. But I wonder if eventually you'll end up expanding. And it's pretty exciting to see where you're going to go with it.
Yeah, it's every year it's expanded. So there may be a time where we'll have
you outgrow your space. Maybe it is a great space right now.
Or we can split it to a 2-day weekend.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good idea too. That's a great idea too. I can see it happening in the near future. Yeah. Well, congratulations on creating this vision and then manifesting it in such a beautiful way. I know you have a huge community supporting the effort, so everybody is a part of it.
And well, my 2 brothers, like my co-founders in this, Salman and Al, without those guys, like this would just be an idea that I had sitting around.
Well, everybody brings their talents together. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you come together, right? And you're all kind of vibing in the same frequency. It's incredible what you can create.
We all, I think, we just all want the same thing for ourselves, for their personal growth, and then we all want this
community opportunity. And then I think all of you, because of your connections to the yoga community, you all have a nice community that you bring to the table. Right?
Yeah, the yoga community is
it's pretty huge here.
It's huge, but they're so loving. I think Bob and we had a community circle 2 weeks ago, and he said, the craziest thing about the community is like I can feel just any idea that like in my heart
out there,
and you guys are like, how can I support you? And that's just how
I love that.
It can be your wildest like passion project. Like, hey guys, like, this is what I'm thinking about. This is in my heart. I need help, and the community jumps in.
I love that.
Beautiful.
I'm so excited. I'm feeling excitement about all of this that you're doing. So first of all, I just want to honor your journey and thank you for being you and thank you for being here and creating such a beautiful experience for people who are seeking answers. I know that ultimately we have to seek answers within ourselves, but when you're traveling a path alone, it's so difficult to know what direction to turn. So to be able to go to one place and experience multiple things, I think is going to help so many. And you don't always hear, feedback, but I know that everybody who attends will be changed in some way. Or there will be a takeaway for sure. So thank you for bringing that to our community. I really appreciate it. I always ask this question at the end of my interviews, and I wanted to know what's one or two things that you found to be the most helpful when you have been kind of deep diving and processing difficult emotional things. What have you turned to? What have you found to be very helpful in being in those spaces and navigating it?
Gratitude.
That's a powerful one for sure.
I was going through a rough time. The year after I started yoga, went through breakup, and it was really rough. And Bobby gave me a mala, and he said, just go through each one, and like each bead say, I'm grateful for like, this person, I'm grateful for that thing, whatever, until you get to the end, which is 108. Things, people, experiences that you're grateful for, and that's gotten me through a lot.
That's so powerful. That's such a great idea.
Gratitude meditation.
Also, 108 is a master number 9, which is a completion number. Powerful number for completion. And there's something that really happens when we complete these where it cycles or comes full circle. It's like it's completion, but it's also a clean slate and a fresh page for creation, right? So it's such a powerful place to be. So to get to that last beat and be able to get to that master number 9, in my opinion, feels really powerful. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Do you have anything else you want to share before we wrap it up? And just anything you want to share about anything, just to feel complete?
I feel like everything that I've been manifesting in the last 3 years is finally, all the puzzle pieces are coming together. Like I had a vision board 2 years ago. Magazine. Oh, this looks cool. That looks cool. And today I looked at it.
Like, oh my gosh, I've done all of it.
Yeah, I just put yoga festivals, and I had a yoga magazine that said yoga festivals. I stuck that on there. And this weekend I'm performing at Medicine for the People. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's a camping festival in Dripping Springs, Texas.
That's cool.
So I'm doing that.
So you're a musician on top of everything else. That's cool.
So that's happening. And then the Prime Minister of India is coming to Houston on Sunday. And he reached out, his committee that's bringing him to Houston reached out to Samuel from Universal and said, we want you guys to be involved to represent the yoga community.
That is so awesome.
The Prime Minister comes to Houston, we want you to be there.
That is so exciting.
Like a yoga performance. So we've been after that, and then that Sunday morning.
I'm so excited talking to you. I'm so excited that all of this is just unfolding.
Yeah. And then Sunday evening we have a thing on the rooftop of Mobile Furniture, and it's a fundraiser for uterine cancer, and it's a yoga floor on top of the rooftop. I feel like everything I've been manifesting on, like things that I love.
In your heart.
Yeah. Yoga, music, and events.
Well, you know what that tells me about you, though, is that you are aligned. When you're perfectly aligned and you're in that column of light with your soul to your through your higher self to source, when you're in that alignment, it's this vibrational frequency you hold, this attracts everything in resonance. So you being aligned in your being is really bringing all of these puzzle pieces, like you said, to you. And it almost, for myself, feels almost effortless, like you accomplishing things, but it's not work.
It's not.
It's like you're just in the flow, right? You're just in this flow of life, which is a beautiful place to be. But as we both know, it's work, inner work, some inner work to get to this place. Yeah. And some crying, some tears, and some pain you need to let go of, right?
So you have to let go in order to invite new things.
You have to let go of everything that's not aligned with people, relationships, job. You always have to honor truth, our inner knowing.
I was working on some stuff today and releasing those old tapes that I have in my head, the stories I used to tell. Like, I'm not good enough, I'm not really receiving this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm erasing the tape.
Delete the file, right? It's so interesting how we have these programs running and they're so subconscious. And one of the key things that I found to be so powerful is to pay attention to that dialogue. So what is the background to saying? Because you might have the greatest idea and the greatest energy, but if you are running a negative, that energy is going to be negating others, right? Or maybe blocking that abundance coming to you or that beautiful experience you're wanting to manifest. So good job on that. That's a huge part of the process. So anyway, John, so awesome having you.
Thank you.
I honor you. Namaste. It's been beautiful.
Thank you.
It's so rare I get to actually hear one of my guests. We're usually on Zoom. So to my audience, check out the festival. If you live in the Houston area or if you can drive out for the day, check it out. I'll put all the information in my comments when I post the video. Thank you all for tuning in. I love you guys. Be kind to yourselves. Namaste. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.